It's the circle of life, and Berlioz rules you all. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Adorkable Rachel, and it's time once again to talk about something that we need to talk about. So this past weekend, Variety announced that Donald Glover would actually be playing Simba in the upcoming reboot of The Lion King, and if you want to read that article, I will put the link in the description below. We've known for a while that Disney was in the works of producing a live-action movie of The Lion King, and I have mixed feelings. I'm not personally a big fan of cartoons or animated movies being made into live action because it really works. I mean, if you wanted the story to be live action, then they would have produced it in live action. But Disney's been on a bit of a rampage the last couple of years of taking animated films they already produced and making them into live action films, and there seems to be no sign of stopping because guess what? We keep spending money on this. Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, Maleficent, the upcoming Beauty and the Beast film. Only thing is that they do decide to make the Lion King movie, there's not going to be any people in it, I'm assuming, so the animals would be computer generated and that would make it a CGI film, so why are we calling it live action? Oh, and a live action Mulan movie's in the works too, except that actually makes a little more sense because it has people! Now, to be fair, Cinderella was okay. I mean, it wasn't like amazing, but it also wasn't really horrible. And yeah, Jungle Book was alright too. But other than that, these live action Disney remakes really have no reason for existing. Except for, of course, to make me miserable. Nope, not a fan. Sorry. Whew, that made me a little dizzy. Now, when The Jungle Book came out last year, I admit, I liked it. It was fine. The CGI of the animals actually looked really, really good, and the scenery looked nice, and the kid actor was really good too. Yeah, okay, it was fine. I liked the story, and the casting was pretty decent too. Except Bill Murray. I don't think he was a good casting choice for Baloo. And Christopher Walken singing I Wanna Be Like You. Really? But I also do have a bit of a problem with one big thing, and that's the ending. Spoiler alert, but Mowgli does not go to the man village in the end like he did in the original Disney film or in the original book. He actually stays in the jungle. Okay, but why would you follow the original Disney film so closely to the point of having most of the same songs when you're just gonna change everything at the very end? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why they changed it. It's because they could have a possible sequel. That's the only reason. And as we all know, Disney just loves them some sequels, even with John Lasseter around. But also, critics and audiences did seem to like it, and it made a lot of money at the box office, so I can't fault Disney for that, despite my petty little issues with it. And when it came out, everyone was actually saying, since the technology of the animals looked really good, probably the next step was to now make a live-action Lion King film. And apparently the law of attraction works because that is exactly what happened. Jon Favreau, who directed The Jungle Book, is actually also set to now do the Lion King film as well. And yeah, if they're gonna do The Lion King, then that does make sense, especially since he did so well with the technology of the animals in the last one. I mean, this is the guy that brought us Elf and Iron Man 2, and also Zathura, so he actually does seem like he also knows story pretty well and is pretty good at making movies, but he also did Cowboys and Aliens. Yeah, but okay, like I said, he does seem like a pretty reasonable choice. But you better not do the same thing you did in The Jungle Book and try to switch things around just because you want another sequel to come out of this one. No, this is based on Hamlet, remember? No, you can't just change Hamlet. You can't just have Scar, like, run off and then maybe have Mufasa come back at the end. No, this movie is sacred to so many of us, so do not screw up, guys. And you know, that's kind of another reason I have an issue with this movie being made. Okay, even if some of those live action movies that I talked about don't really have a reason for existing, I do admit that the idea of them being in live action is somewhat intriguing. If Maleficent wasn't a piece of garbage, yeah, it would actually be kind of interesting to see a young Maleficent become evil. If Alice in Wonderland wasn't confusing as hell and had a little more dignity, it kind of would have been more interesting to see it from a different perspective. But also, since the original Jungle Book is over 50 years old, it kind of makes sense to bring it back to the younger audiences, get people more interested in the history of Disney, and just kind of create this more epicified movie. Some of the ideas were good but not executed very well, and then there were some ideas that were somewhat executed for reasonable reasons. But why would you remake a movie that's not that old? Literally, The Lion King came out in 1994, but why would you also remake a film that is really good and is considered a classic? This movie was praised by audiences and critics. It won 2 Academy Awards and it put Disney back on the map officially. I didn't know it when I was younger, but there was a time that Disney was just kind of not nearly as popular. This is the movie that made them more popular. No joke, it was kind of a phenomenon. couple of really mediocre sequels, but still. And it also had that Timon and Pumbaa TV show. I actually loved watching that show when I was a kid. I would totally watch that again. And it has a musical on Broadway, which has been running for nearly 20 years. And on top of all that, I had a Lion King themed birthday party. How much more big can you get? Why are you remaking this movie? There's practically nothing wrong with it. We like it the way it is. What more can you do with it? It's beautifully animated. It's still relevant. People still love it. We don't need to remake this, guys. If you're gonna remake a film, why not do something from a long time ago? Or something that really wasn't that popular. Something that you could do more with now. Like, I don't know, The Black Cauldron or The Sword and the Stone. Actually, I know exactly when they won't remake those movies. Because no one cares about them. Yep, you gotta get those movies that everyone's pretty familiar with or will get to their nostalgia. I mean, that's the only way we're gonna do it. Just do 2 of them. That's what we need more than anything. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic. Back to the recent news. I will say, actually, I do like Donald Glover for the choice of Simba. I think he's a really good actor. He was great on Community, he's awesome in Atlanta, and also he's gonna be playing Lando in the upcoming Han Solo film, so clearly he's made some good casting choices in his career. As far as I know, no other casting choices have been announced, at least not according to any of the research I did, except they did say, and I think this is gonna be the one saving grace, is that they actually are getting James Earl Jones, who did Mufasa in the original film, to play Mufasa again here. Yes! That, I will admit, I'm looking forward to. In fact, while we're at it, can we just please get Nathan Lane to play Timon again? The Lion King is exactly why I'm a big Nathan Lane fan. That's how I became aware of him in the first place. I love Nathan Lane, and he's still acting, doing tons of stuff, so please, 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 can we bring him back? So anyway, I know I kind of rambled on a lot, but bottom line, if you guys are gonna remake The Lion King, please, can we try to come up with a good reason as to why it should be remade? Can you maybe make sure that when it comes out in the theaters, I feel like I'm watching something that's worthwhile? The technology's probably ready, yes, but are you gonna have them sing? Is it not gonna be too silly that a bunch of live action animals are going around singing their songs? And at the end of I Just Can't Wait to Be King, are you gonna actually have all the animals stacked on top of each other at the end, creating that pyramid tower thing? Because if you don't, I am not gonna be impressed. You know what? I don't know. Maybe they will surprise me. Maybe it'll turn out pretty good. But other than that, I'm still pretty hesitant about this idea, and really, I think that this kind of money should just be going towards things that are actually more original, or at least it's something that we haven't seen before. Why aren't you guys focusing on making the next Frozen or the next Zootopia, just something that really completely blows our minds? Or I have an idea. If you're gonna make more live action films, then why can't they be based on things that we have not seen on the big screen yet? If you want your kids to watch The Lion King, go watch the original Lion King! It's literally one of the best Disney movies ever made! Also, I know we're kind of on this trend of making live action films from original animated films, but what if in like 10 years it switched around, and now we're actually making animated films based on live action films? Okay, that I would pay to see! And finally, when I was doing my research, actually, I found out, I'm sure this might not be news to some of you, but it's certainly news to me, they're gonna be making a Dumbo movie, apparently, which first, again, really not on board with that, but not only is Tim Burton excited to direct it, but apparently Will Smith is going to be starring in it. Well, if that doesn't sound like the best SNL sketch ever, then I don't know what is. I mean, what does this mean? Is Will Smith starring as Dumbo? Is Dumbo gonna be talking now? Tim, I'm tired of this gothic shit in this movie. I need my peanuts, man. I'm a serious method actor. God damn it, man. I need my peanuts. I'm sorry. So those are my current mixed and somewhat confusingly optimistic thoughts of pretty much every Disney remake that's gonna be coming up soon. Peanuts, Tim! But now I wanna know, do you guys like the idea of this movie being remade? Do you think Donald Glover is a good casting choice? Can you think of other people who would be good in this movie? And also, do you have any fond memories of growing up with the original Lion King film? Well, go ahead and leave your comments below. Be sure to like and share. And if you're new and like what you saw here, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And also be sure to hit that little bell button down there so you can get notified when new content comes out, because I make new videos here every week. Bye, Adorkable buddies. I'll see you soon. Bye. Peanuts, Berlioz.